Sri Lanka has reached crisis point. Thousands of protesters have stormed the presidential palace and torched the Prime Minister's home. So what happens now? Both the Prime Minister and the President have agreed to resign. Sri Lanka is facing its worst economic crisis since it achieved independence in 1948.
The island nation of 22 million people has been left in financial turmoil after economic mismanagement and the impact of the pandemic, and now confusion over the change of leadership. Their constitution usually dictates if the president resigns, the prime minister, in this case Ranil Wickremesinghe, will step in and act in the office of president. But the protesters have demanded both the president and the prime minister step down.
However, it's Parliament and not the people that elects Sri Lanka's next president. The Sri Lankan Parliament has said they'll elect a new president by the end of July. Cabinet members say they'll also resign once an all-party government is formed.
Only time will tell whether the handover of power will be smooth or whether the outcome will be accepted by protesters.
And what about Sri Lanka's financial woes?
The International Monetary Fund said it was hoping for a resolution to Sri Lanka's political turmoil to allow talks about a potential bailout package to resume. There's unlikely to be any real progress on that front until the country has a legitimate president and prime minister in place. But whether a bailout is the answer long term remains to be seen. A tourism industry badly damaged by suicide bombings and COVID-19. Severe foreign exchange shortages limiting fuel, food and medicine imports. Record high inflation and vast accumulating debts have all helped pile pressure on an already cash-strapped population.
Like many countries, Sri Lanka has been hit by the global fallout of the war in Ukraine and the ensuing fuel crisis. In a sense, it's a bit of a canary in the coal mine, and the eyes of the world are trained on Sri Lanka to see what it does next. Many people here blame the Rajapaksa political dynasty for the country's economic collapse. The family has been in control of Sri Lanka for 2 decades.
Months of protests in Sri Lanka reached fever pitch when thousands of people stormed the government district in Colombo. When protesters broke into the president's house, many were angered by the opulence of the soaring ceilings, 4-poster bed and vast marble bathroom. An indication of the gulf between the country's rich and poor.
මේ වගේ මාලිගාවේ මේගොල්ලන් ජීවත් වෙනකොට අපේ ගමේ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ දනින්නේ හේතුව ඒගොල්ලන් හොඳට කනවා බොනවා ඒගොල්ලන්ට එක්ස්පීආර් මේ අර සූමින් අර පොල් තියෙනවා අර පැත්තේ ගියාම ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ මාන්සි අරගන්න ඕන දේවල් තියෙනවා මැෂින් තියෙනවා.
The resignation of the president and the prime minister may make many Sri Lankans feel that months of hardship and demonstrations have not been in vain.
But what happens next with Sri Lanka's economic future still hangs in the balance.